What is going on, everybody? I'm Chris Dailey, founder of the Sports Court, and this is a review of the U.S. men's national team game against Switzerland. My thoughts, the good, the bad, the ugly. So I'm going to jump straight into it, but before I do, I'm wearing a hat, and before you say, how informal is this kid? It's, first off, an MPSL team, which I'm supporting local soccer, supporting soccer in America, too. If you see the hat head, forget about it. I might as well just never go on air again. You guys should just cancel me for that. So, anyways, gonna jump straight into it. So, first off, Switzerland's a good team. I do know that, 13th ranked, but that doesn't really necessarily mean much unless you're in the top 10. But it doesn't mean much when you get it on paper. We're pretty even. They got Shaqiri, but Shaqiri doesn't play. He didn't play that much at Liverpool, and Bolo up top, he's a good player, so I know of his capabilities. He was a FIFA career mode legend. And U.S. men's national team, they line up in an interesting lineup. Jackson Yueill starting in the center of the midfield, which I personally loved. I was raving about Jackson Yueill after the Olympic qualifying. If there's anybody that showed me anything in Olympic qualifying, and people said Ochoa as well, yes, Ochoa played great. Had that one blunder. He stood head over heels. But Jackson Yueill was the guy who showed me something, because Jackson Yueill, as the only field player that actually cared that the U.S. men's national teams, the U.S. youth national team, should I say, their hopes of going to the Olympics were being diminished. And he was a guy who put the team on his back and tried to do everything. However, the team weighed him down massively. So, credit to Jackson Yueill. He deserves it. He's a guy who deserves a spot. And Sebastian Lletget, before the game, I was saying, okay, everyone's going to say MLS, this and that about the MLS. But first off, Sebastian Lletget produces on the U.S. men's national team 3 in the last 2, including this game against Switzerland, in which he got a goal. So good on Sebastian Lletget, because I was saying Sebastian Lletget slander shouldn't happen. I love Jackson Yueill. I understood Jackson Yueill's, some people saying it only due to the fact they never saw Jackson Yueill play, and after seeing him today, they didn't say he was terrible. And listen, when Jackson Yueill was off the pitch, we played a lot worse. Than when he was on the pitch. I do want to put that out there. I do want to say that. I want to say that. When he was out on the field, we played a lot better. And that's a fact. And Sebastian Lletget, meanwhile, whenever he's on the field, he produces for the U.S. men's national team. Love him or hate him. Just because you're in the MLS doesn't mean you're bad. And this is the problem with American soccer. The problem is, it's a lot of these fans, a lot of these supporters, who I love because we're supporting soccer, we're supporting the game in the States. I love it. I love that. But a lot of them are very ignorant to the fact that they just say, oh, because you're in a top 5 league, or because you're in a European league, you must be amazing, and because you're in the MLS, you must suck. No, that's not the case. Sebastian Lletget plays a lot better than Josh Sargent. Can tell you that. If Josh Sargent, to me, did not show me anything, I said before the game, if one guy's going to show me anything in this game, it's got to be Josh Sargent. Josh Sargent, to me, is, I don't even know if he's the third. Maybe he's the third best forward we have. I love Daryl Dike up top. Daryl Dike is my go-to guy up top. And I also think this game showed how much we need Tyler Adams in the midfield. Tyler Adams is huge. He's a game changer, and he's a captain. He's a leader. And meanwhile, Christian Pulisic, he's a guy who can change a game. This game was also big defensively because Serginho Dest offensively, chef's kiss. And everyone's always saying now, oh, I don't even know if Serginho should play. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That's the dumbest thing. I just don't understand that. Serginho Dest offensively brings so much to the table. He just needs to work on the last aspect of that game, which is finishing. And on the other side, he's got to work on finishing and defending. He definitely has to play on the right. I loved him with Christian Pulisic when they played against Jamaica. Let me pull up the lineup for that game, because when they played together on the side, I really like that. So we got the lineup pulled up. Serginho Dest played on the left, it looks like, with Christian Pulisic. And I do think he's better suited off to the right. I do believe that. However, him and Pulisic, they had some good opportunities when Pulisic drifted into the middle of the field a bit, because Pulisic is a winger. When he drifts into the middle of the field and allows Sergiño Dest to occupy that space, that's when magic started happening. And he got the goal. Let's not forget that. And again, that's against Jamaica, the Reggae Boys. So what I got to say about this game is the U.S. men's national team, if you don't want to play, just don't at all. Weston McKennie didn't show me anything that game. He didn't show me anything. Weston McKennie, he's the guy who was supposed to be the energizer bunny of the team. Show me nothing. Absolutely nothing. Reggie Cannon, you got a shot. Make the best of it. Because it was just a bunch of guys out there who did not make the best of their opportunities. Gio Reyna, love him. Love the way he plays. But listen, you got to keep a hold of the ball. I get he's young, he's inexperienced. That's the problem. They're young guys. Give them a chance. I don't care if they're young. I want to win now. I want results now. And because, what's the point? It's like the New York Rangers. I'm a big Rangers fan. We're going to be great in 5 years. They said that 10 years ago. 5 years ago, they said we're going to be great in 5 years. At present day, we're going to be great in 5 years. Now, let's be great today. It's a good day to be great. It's a fantabulous day to be great. And the U.S. men's national team were not great. U.S. men's national team, everyone's always saying, okay, I heard a broadcaster say, the only thing that matters is the first 60 minutes of the game. The silence is loud. The silence is really loud. The only thing that matters is the first 90 minutes of the game. The first 90 minutes of the game are the only minutes that matter. And that's the only minutes you play. Because when you go out there, you play till the final whistle. And the U.S. men's national team didn't do that. The U.S. men's national team didn't do that. You got to play the full 90. You got to play the full 90. Ethan Horvath in net. Oh, great performance. Really big keeper. He stands tall. Very well done for him. Mark McKenzie, pretty solid in the back. John Brooks as well. But there is a problem. Just defensively is a huge problem. In the middle of the field, Jackson Yule, I love him. He's our number 2. Tyler Adams is our number 1. Yule's the number 2. Tyler Adams makes a huge difference. Gonna get that out of the way. Sebastian Lletget, I mean, he could start. He can start. I would not be mad if he starts in the main lineup. I said it. You know, Yunus Musa, I love him. But I would not be mad if Sebastian Lletget started. I'm just saying, everyone. Reggie Cannon, I would prefer Anthony Robinson on the left and Dest on the right. However, I do love when they play together, Pulisic and Dest. And Pulisic and Dest can get that relationship building where Pulisic can drift into the middle, and that allows Dest to occupy that space. That's great. People are saying we should play in a back 5 or a back 3. We have 3 center backs, so like McKenzie, Richards. You can go Brooks in the middle, McKenzie at right, and then Richards on the left. And then you have the 5 in the midfield. And 2 out wide guys are actually going to be the wing backs. So it would be Dest and a guy like, it could be Cannon, it could be Robinson. I like that idea. That was tactical manager's idea, actually, what he had in his lineup. And then in the midfield, it was Adams, McKinney, and Musa. And then up top, it was Pulisic, Reyna, and I think he had Sargent up top. I like Daryl Dike up top a lot, and I think this game showed it. Josh Sargent doesn't show me anything in club. He hasn't shown me anything in Crunchy. And just because you play, and what I said about the ignorance of these U.S. men's national team fans, just because you play for a so-called big team in Europe, and meanwhile, these guys, they're not producing on these big teams. So first off, you're not producing, it doesn't matter. If you're averaging 2 goals a season, like what? That's great. And now that I think of it, Josh Sargent might be the 4th best because we have Matthew Hoppe too. You got DK, Sibachu, Hoppe, and then Sargent. Like, wow. And then you got Tim Way too. Although I don't know if he will play the number 9, but still. Overall, I think it was a performance where to many are saying, oh, this performance was good by the U.S. men's national team. We're young and we can compete against Switzerland. We're young. No, the problem with this, the biggest problem I had with that game wasn't anything to do with the tactics, because I think I have trust in Greg Berhalter that he will fix it, he will adjust. First off, the Switzerland adjusted to us, and we didn't adjust back. And that's not on, a lot of times it's not on the coach, it's on the players, because a lot of times you see new managers come to teams, and then team does good at first because it's always the new managers in town. Let's work hard. And after a while, it's just the same old thing. And it's just recycled. So I think this performance was really a big part of it was on the players. I think the biggest part of it was on the players. because the players did not put in effort. And when you don't put in 111%, because you're at professional stage. At professional stage, everyone's putting in 110%. How did they get there? Talent and hard work. And they're going to put in 111%. They're going to put in the extra percent. Everyone says go 110. They're going to put in the extra. Go 111. Usmnt's national team, we're going at a nice 25. A nice breezy pace just to get by. No, the biggest thing I loved about a guy like Jermaine Jones, the biggest thing I loved about Kyle freaking Beckerman from Real Salt Lake, who played on the Usmnt's national team in 2014. Those guys busted their chops. They would do everything to win every single ball. Every single ball that would come their way, they would do everything to win. And if they didn't get it, they would hustle back and work defensively. And the U.S. men's national team did not do that. Brendan Aronson had his flashes, good flashes, but overall, it's just a really frustrating performance. Really frustrating performance in the fact that it's tough to watch when you're watching a team and they don't care. It almost seems as if they don't care. It's really tough to watch. Really tough to watch. Switzerland were a risky team playing out of the back. We could have gotten a goal. And Switzerland could have got another 5 on us. So it was a game where we both had some decent amount of chances, but overall just need to play better. In the next game, I would like to see a guy like, obviously Pulisic's going to be back, so that will be huge. But I would like to see Justin Shea make an appearance. Then again, it's in the Nations League. So we're going to see how that lines up. But yeah, I would like to see, not even Justin Shea, I'd like to see Chris Richards maybe. Because personally, I love Chris Richards passing. I'm not the biggest fan of Chris Richards to the point where I'm like, he's our starting center back. I thought it was Aaron Long and John Brooks. I think this game would be a lot different if we had Aaron Long, by the way. But I thought it was Aaron Long, John Brooks. Long gets injured. And you can say, oh, MLS, I don't care. He produces. He's good. He's solid. And the thing with Chris Richards is he doesn't have a lot of experience. He doesn't have a lot of experience in the back. And given the only way he's going to get that, but I'm talking about club experience, not even national experience, club experience. The U.S. men's national team looked very lackluster. They looked like they didn't want to be out there. And when you don't want to be out there, you're going to lose 100% of the time. 102% of the time you're going to lose. Because if you don't want to play, just don't play then. It's what you tell U5 rec soccer players. What their parents say, hey, if you don't want to play, don't play. If you don't want to play, no, we shouldn't be saying that to guys who are at the professional standpoint, who are at the national level. We shouldn't be saying that, but we are. And we are. And that is a problem. It's a huge problem. A huge problem. We got outpassed 613 to 498. These players weren't giving it their all out there. And it's easy for me, you're going to say, it's easy for you to say sitting on the sideline. But you know what? This is my job. I analyze. I comment on this. This is my job. This is what I do. And the biggest thing to me is guys just weren't trying. We're not trying. The biggest bright spot of this game for me, biggest bright spots were probably Mark McKenzie showing he's pretty solid. He's a pretty solid center back. The goaltending, that was huge. And I thought Brendan Aronson played pretty well. And I think Brendan Aronson, a guy who can get a lot better too. I think he's a guy who can get a lot better. Biggest negatives for me were Serginho Dest defending and Reggie Cannon on the defense, our outside backs, our wing backs, getting up and down the pitch. Definitely, I think we're going to play a new formation next game because this formation obviously is not going to work. If we had Adams in the midfield, that's going to be huge. And all I hear is excuses out of a lot of fans. A lot of fans saying excuses. Come on. It's the U.S. men's national team. It's now or never. It's now or never. Anyways, that is my rant. I'm Chris Dailey from the Sports Court signing off. And again, I do want to say, it's frustrating watching a game where you don't feel like the players really want to be out there. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. It's really frustrating. Sebastian Lletget was also a big bright spot because Sebastian Lletget shows he's a starting caliber player on the U.S. men's national team. People say, oh, he's in MLS. We realize from 2010 to 2015, he was at Fulham. He played a lot of youth soccer at Fulham. Played a lot of it at Fulham. Just putting it out there. He never really appeared for the senior team, but it's enough. I mean, nowadays we'll be going crazy over that. And we are, because we actually have a goalkeeper at Fulham who's like in the U18s, I think. So, yeah, keep an eye out for him. We got Anthony Robinson at Fulham. We got Tim Ream at Fulham. We got Clint Dempsey back in the day at Fulham. Anyways, Chris Dailey. I'm nearing time, so Chris Dailey, Sports Court, signing off. Deuces. Deuces. What am I thinking? Whoa! God bless America.